I am so excited to have you on Voices of the Valley, the Tamari Key with the Lady Vols. This is exciting for me because I normally don't do sports interviews, but I am so fascinated by your story and all that you've overcome. So first, for those that don't know you, and I don't know who doesn't know you, but tell me a little bit about yourself. You're not from Knoxville, you're from Raleigh.
Yes.
How did you even start getting interest in the Lady Vols?
I grew up in Cary, North Carolina, right outside of Raleigh, played basketball all my life. My mom played volleyball in college. My dad played basketball. So the sport gene was there. I live like 20 minutes from UNC, 20 from Duke, 20 from NC State. So I'm right there in between all these amazing colleges. Grew up going to watch all their girls play. And then like late in my recruitment, Tennessee offered me, and I was like, okay. And the first time I came on campus, I was sold immediately. I think I visited like 5 more times before I had even committed. I came to all their games, football games, basketball games, men's and women's. I just loved it. The atmosphere was amazing.
I love it.
Amazing.
So when you were younger and you started realizing, you know what, I could do basketball, because you obviously had a growth spurt over your peers. What was it like growing up just being a little taller than everybody else?
I was like 5'10" in 4th grade. So I've been tall forever. And in middle school, elementary school, I didn't really like it. But once I got to high school, I was like, you know what, screw this. Like, I love this. I love being different from everybody else, and I just ran with it. And ever since then, I'm like, this is amazing. Like, I wouldn't want to be like any other person.
You don't get tired of comments? I would think you kind of get tired of it.
It depends sometimes. Like, you know, when you're not in the mood to talk, and you're kind of just like, oh, they're going to say something. But it's also a blessing, too, to just be recognized here, because that just goes to show the brands of Lady Vols women's basketball. Like, they know who you are when you go to the mall. You go to the grocery store, you're probably going to take a picture with at least 5 people. So it's a blessing.
What does basketball do for you? What does playing do for you?
As a little girl, I never thought that I would be where I am today. I think, you know, you just play, you go out and have fun, you make friends. I'm tall, so a lot of attention comes with that. And Tennessee women's basketball, the brand of Tennessee women's basketball has just done so much for me. I'm going into my 5th year now. And I mean, I've met so many people, so many fans I have relationships with. My coaches I adore. Like, my teammates, I know I'll have some forever friends from them, you know. So it's just been fun. And then basketball, I think, has also taught me a lot of life lessons, too.
Now, you can tell me. We'll tell her not to watch. What is Coach like? What is Coach like? What don't we know about her? What is she doing to you all at the practices and so forth?
Coach Kelly is a mom away from her kids. She is our mother away from home, for sure. She's intense. You know, she'll get on you, but it's tough love. She loves us. We adore her. We look up to her. She played under Pat Summitt, obviously won 3 national championships under her. So to just be able to kind of try to soak up as much as you can from her, I mean, she's amazing. I love her to death.
Does it ever feel like a lot of pressure to live up to the Lady Vol brand? Because that's a lot.
It does. I mean, it's a big ask to come here. I think it's a commitment. You have to make sure you're willing to, you know, it's a brand that's so established, and it's a lot of pressure. The fans know what it's like to win national championships, and you have to come here with that mentality, like, okay, like, let's do this. I'm all in. Because the fans are crazy in the best way.
In the best way.
In the best way. They love us, and they love to see us succeed. But she helps you kind of guide through that, because it can be overwhelming at times, you know. So we keep our family tight, so that helps.
What's your favorite part of playing the sport? Is it the fans, the cheering, or is it just, you know, making the basket or completing the play? Or what's the best part?
On the court, I would say blocking shots. I love to block shots. I'm very stoic on the court. People are like, why don't you like trash talk? I'm just like, that's not me, but I do enjoy like playing defense. I love blocking shots. It gets me really hype. But off of the court, probably just the relationships that I've made with so many people. And I probably wouldn't have been able to go out of the country if it weren't for basketball. My freshman year, we went to Paris, Amsterdam, Belgium for a foreign trip. So they do a foreign trip every 4 years. And then since I got able to come back for a 5th year, I had another foreign trip in June, and we went to Italy and Greece.
Now, I follow you on Instagram. I love to keep up with your posts on Instagram. You all had a ball out of the country.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing.
What was your favorite part?
Probably Sorrento. I just love being by the water. The people were really nice. The food was good. Coming back here and eating pizza and dessert and chocolate wasn't the same. I just don't look at it the same.
Messed it all up.
Yes, it's not the same, but it was beautiful. I mean, once in a lifetime experience.
When you talk about like building relationships, I love the support that all of you girls give each other. I look at even your post with Jordan Horston, just cheering her on going to the WNBA. It's almost like your own sisterhood for those that have never been on a team.
Yeah, it is, definitely. We create so many relationships. It's just like having a sister, really. You spend a lot of time together on the court, off the court. And, sometimes you're like, okay, I need to get away from you for 15 minutes.
Like a sister.
Right. And then you come back together and you love on each other. And, we win together, we lose together. Conditioning in the summer is hard. We do hard things together. We have a lot of successes together and seeing each other grow. I mean, it's so much fun.
Tell me about your mom. Your mom travels to most of the games.
Yes.
Tell me about you all's relationship, and then factor in your sister Tiani, who also plays.
Yeah, so my sister goes to UNC. She's about 20 minutes from home, right up the street, which my mom loves. I wanted to come here and be in the SEC, so I'm about 5.5 hours away. I wanted to get away from home, but I wanted to be close enough to where my mom could still, drive to the games. I remember last season, actually, we had a game. And, we went to breakfast the next day, and she's like, okay, I need to get on the road. Tiani plays at 3. And she just is a road runner. She's a hard worker. She's done so much for us. I mean, independent lady through and through. And she's our backbone. Me and my sister, we just wouldn't be where we are, who we are today as people without her. So.
Does it mean a lot to see her in the crowd when you play?
Oh, yeah. And I can still hear her voice. Even in TBA of the thousands of people, I could still hear her voice over everybody else, which is crazy.
Are you competitive with your sister?
Oh, yeah, yes. We have arguments about who's the better player all the time. I mean, I know that I am.
What?
Just biasly, since I'm the older sister, I can't let her have that one up on me. I can't, but I love her. That's my best friend.
Older sisters are the best.
I know.
Not biased, but older
Just
sisters are the best. I love it. Do you all talk a lot about strategy or critique each other or
not as much,
separate?
Really. We kind of separate it just because we're in it so much. Sometimes we just need to talk about things that are not even related to basketball. She actually tore her ACL her freshman year, so I think that was really hard for her. So helping her get through that and just helping her navigate back on the court. And I've been doing this a couple years longer than she has, obviously. So when she needs advice, I'm always here.
Let me ask you this. You have such a style. Because, listen, when you step out, it's going to be some lashes.
Yes.
There's going to be some hair. It's going to be long. You are going to be styled.
Yes.
How do you put up, because you're playing the game in the age of social media where every fan feels like they can say something and they just get on there. And how do you work with all those different comments, the good and the bad?
It comes with it, especially at Tennessee when we're on this platform that we are. I'm a girl at the end of the day. I'm a human, I think. Sometimes people forget that. And I like to get cute. I like to have my hair, my nails, my lashes done. And we're on TV. And sometimes I feel like when I first got to college, my mom was like, you do not need to get your hair done every 2 weeks. I'm like, Mom, we're on ESPN. I need to have my hair done and my nails done, my lashes done every 2 weeks. And it's something that I love to do. Off the court, just as a leisure thing, I love getting my hair done, my lashes done.
Is it weird trying to tell people you can't dictate this part of me?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm proud of who I am. My mom has raised us to be proud of, stand tall, be different than everybody else, and be perfectly fine with that, and just embrace, who you are as people. So luckily, I've had that engraved in me since I was a little girl. And I love it. I love that nobody else looks like me or does what I do or has the brand that I have, the red hair and the lashes here. That's something that's mine, and I love that, and I just embrace that about myself.
I love it. I love it more than you know. You remind me so much of like FloJo back in the day, Florence Griffith Joyner.
Yes.
She had a different style, and people were like, what is she
Why
doing?
Why are you doing that? But it's like,
don't worry about it.
Right. This is me, and I love it, and y'all are watching, whether you like it or not. So what does that say about y'all?
Yeah. So let's talk about the toughest part, I would think, of your career, and that would be the blood clots that were found on your lungs December of last year.
Yes.
Leading up to that discovery, did you feel that anything was wrong? Take me through the months or whatever time frame before you were diagnosed.
So it was about Thanksgiving time when we traveled to the Bahamas. Amazing trip. We got to play a few games over there. Like I said, basketball just takes us everywhere. So that was a lot of fun. I was tired when I was playing. And it's the summer's kind of ending. You might still be out of shape or whatever. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm still just trying to get into game shape. But I just felt like I couldn't breathe, really. And
while playing or just in general?
While I was playing. So So luckily I was really only impacted by my pulmonary embolism while I was playing and not off the court. But I just was so shortness of breath. I couldn't go get the rebound. I couldn't go box that girl out. I didn't have it in me to do one extra thing that I'm usually, that's what I usually do. And I remember watching a film and I'm like, dang, I am moving in slow motion, so slow. So we just kept testing until we could finally find what was wrong. And I was getting ready for a game one day in the locker room, and I had a blood test that morning. Completely forgot about it. Wasn't even in my mind anymore. My trainer came in. She was like, we have to take you to the hospital right now. Something came back positive, and I watched the game from the hospital bed. But I thought, he's like, oh, we're just going to put you on some blood thinners. So I'm like, okay. Then I can go play. And he was like, no, you can't play. And that was hard because on the phone with my sister, and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, they're just going to give me some medicine. I'm going to go back out and play. And I ended up getting admitted to the hospital that night.
What was going through your head?
A lot. I knew that something was wrong, but it kind of took, it took a while to figure out what was actually wrong. So that was hard for me to deal with. And then also during that time was when the social media stuff kicked in, oh, she cares too much about her hair, and she cares too much about her lashes to actually be a good basketball player. So I was dealing with that as well. So I was going through a lot in that period of time with just my illness, mental health, dealing with all the social media stuff that was going on. So it was a lot. So to finally have some closure on what was actually going on with me, I don't want to say I was glad, but I was finally, I know what it is. I knew something was wrong, and now I finally know what it is. I also was defeated that my senior year was just gone like that. So,
all that work, because right, in your mind, this is the big, this is the finale.
Yeah, to go out with a bang. I had all these preseason accolades already. So I had high expectations for myself. But, I think everything happens for a reason sometimes, so.
What got you through, or who got you through? What sustained you?
I think, my family, leaning on them, my coaches, my teammates, my strength coach. I obviously spent a lot of time with him just doing, rehab stuff, easing my way back into things while I was on the medicine since I couldn't be on the court physically. Just keeping myself occupied, really. It was hard. It was definitely an uphill battle, but to be on the other side of it now, to see how far along I've come, it's been crazy, a blessing.
How are you today?
I'm great. Back on the court, playing, trying to get back into the swing of things, getting back in shape. We say we have 2 days off during the week, and you come back and you're like, dang, I'm tired. And I was out for 6 months. So that's definitely been the hardest part, but I remember my first practice back, and I did a drill, and I was tired, but I recovered and caught my breath. And I told Coach Tatum, I was like, I was tired, but I wasn't tired anymore after I was tired. And I was like, that was an amazing feeling, because before I'd be tired and I just was like, I can't.
That's it for the day. My goodness. You know, we talk about a brand, a lot of times we talk about like, oh, she plays ball and these are her stats, but you've developed yourself or established yourself outside of basketball, SEC leadership. Tell me a little bit about what you've been doing leadership-wise.
So my freshman year, coach came up to me and was like, I want you to be in Vol Leaders. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but I'm going to say yes because let's go for it. Like, okay. So that was my first like leadership kind of thing that I pursued at Tennessee. A leadership course, then we went to Belize for a couple weeks just to serve the community, and that was amazing. So it started then I was in SAC, and then I got introduced to the SEC Leadership Council, where I'm now vice chair of that. So I've always been a leader. I think I never really leaned into it until the coaches were like, come on, like you have it in you. Like people gravitate towards you, just step into it and be that, embrace it. And it's been fun. It was hard because I realized I need to lead myself before I could lead others, I think is one of the biggest things that I've learned.
Okay, I'm like, come on with the Oprah comment. What does that mean for you?
Just giving myself grace, the same grace that I give other people, I think was my biggest thing, but yeah.
What about Vol fans? So Lady Vol fans, like you said, they're different in a good way.
Yes.
Do you have any favorite fan moments or favorite game moments where you just go, you know what, I'm gonna look back on my career and I'll remember that one. That one was funny, or that one was cool.
Probably my sophomore year when I had my first triple-double against Florida. That was a lot of fun. In the moment, I didn't realize how like monumental that was as a Lady Vol. And then until I got my second one, and now I'm the only Lady Vol that has more than one. So I think both of those moments were probably monumental for me. When we beat South Carolina at home, that game was a lot of fun. They're just super passionate, and especially since we passed NIL now, we can do more things with the fans, which I love, because they love us, and we just gotta love on them just as much as they do for us. So,
did you ever think in high school that you'd get to the point where you could actually have an NIL deal?
I don't know. And I always believed that in high school. I was like, we have to get college athletes paid. And when I was in SAC in the SEC Council, like we talked about that, like the passing of it, I'm like, there's no way that they're gonna pass this, until they did. So being in college pre-NIL and post-NIL, it's been a crazy shift, but I'm thankful that they did.
What does Tamari want to do when she grows up?
That's
what I said to all my college kids. What do you want to be when you grow up?
And usually the answer is, I don't know. But I'm into all things like fashion. I love shopping, nails, hair, all of that, lashes, basketball. I want to do something that includes all of that. Also maybe ESPN commentating. I think I could see myself doing that. So I want to do a bunch of different things.
The Candace Parker action.
Yeah, I want to have the different sources of revenue coming in from different places and just doing it all, a little bit of everything, just like Candace does.
Yeah.
Andrea, all of them. I mean, we have a lot of Lady Vols who are in commentating, so that's awesome.
Is it neat when some of the Lady Vol alums come back and talk to you all? What is that like? That's a lot of pressure.
They're like, oh, I remember when I used to be here. And I'm like, oh, whatever. But I feel like I'm starting to get to that point where I'm like about to move on to the next chapter of my life. And I'm going to be coming back like, oh, I remember when I used to be here, like taking in, because it goes by so fast. But we have so many successful Lady Vols that are coaches, broadcasting. I mean, we're everywhere. Like, we're nationwide. And the Tennessee brand, it just goes to show that it's everywhere and that you can really do whatever you set your mind to. So it's super inspiring.
Do you not love your choice of coming to UT?
I do. And I tell people sometimes I'm just walking on campus or going into practice and I'm like, dang, like, I cannot imagine going anywhere else. Just all the things that the Tennessee brand has done for me, and all the connections I made and all the relationships that I've made since I've been here. If I had to go back and do it all over again, I would, 100%.
Tamari, I thank you so much for sitting down. I have enjoyed talking to you, and thank you for indulging me, because the first thing I told her, I said, now listen, we're not going to go into a whole lot of sports because I don't know it, But I love people, and I love how resilient you've been throughout
you.
all this. So, wishing you good success. Are you ready for your first game back? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. We're ready for the season.
Okay.
They can't get here any faster.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
love.
you so much.